For right now, I want to give you guys a really quick recap over some of the stuff that we've spoken about the next 2 days before we move on from talking about Egypt in our review. Tomorrow, we'll be moving on from that tomorrow. So instead, today, I'm just going to give you guys a really quick recap over some of the stuff that we've been talking about. Remember, we were talking about the Kushites, and we were talking about the kingdom of Kermer and the kingdom of Kush, the Kushites, or the people of Nubia, inhabited. So remember, the people of Nubia lived in what is now current-day Sudan, south of where Egypt was located, along the Nile River. The Kushites had a long relationship with the Egyptians. They engaged in a lot of trade with them. They traded quite a bit, but they also had some rivalry. They didn't always get along. They were rivals of one another to a certain extent, even though they cooperated sometimes. Please remember that the kingdom of Kermer existed before the kingdom of Kush, and the kingdom of Kermer met its end around the time that Egypt conquered them after they had a 50-year war. They had a war for 50 years. Egypt basically controlled them for a long time until they managed to finally break off. And then they established the kingdom of Kush. And the kingdom of Kush continued to thrive until finally the kingdom of Kush actually took over Egypt for a while. They took over Egypt up until the Assyrians kicked them out when they conquered Egypt. But the Kushites were able to learn iron from the Assyrians, but they moved their capital further south as a result to get away from the Assyrians. This iron working ended up becoming a very big benefit towards the Kushites. And they eventually moved their capital south to a city known as Meroe, or what was Meroe. This is an image of Meroe today. You can see the many pyramids. There are actually more pyramids in Meroe than there are in Cairo today, which is the capital of Egypt today. Eventually, the Kushites would make their end, however, when they were invaded by the kingdom of Axum. So that was just a really quick recap for you guys of what we talked about the last days. We're going to be moving out of Egypt tomorrow and continuing with our review. Thank you, guys.